We are live. Let's push that button there. We've got the music playing, and this is Late Night Health. I'm Mark Allen. We are broadcasting live from Las Vegas, Nevada. And do we have the music up there? Yeah, there it is. It's underneath. Yeah, there we go. It's much easier when I have the insane Daryl Wayne pushing all the buttons, but we don't have him today. But we do have Dick Benson. He is the president of Innonvision Health Media.
Correct.
And he publishes magazines, online, print, websites for both the industry as well as for the consumers. How'd you get into this, Dick?
I kind of fell into it. I've been in publishing for a big chunk of my life. Had an opportunity to buy the consumer side of the business back in 2010. And when we were closing the deal, they said, well, if you want the consumer side, you also have to buy the professional side. So we bought the whole company. And now that is actually the kind of the nut for the whole company, is we drive it around educating healthcare practitioners.
Right. So when you say you're educating healthcare practitioners, are you educating them about supplementation and natural products?
It's part of it. We're really teaching them that most healthcare practitioners, when they come out of medical school, they're provided a pharmaceutical solution as the first choice for their patient. What our objective is to evaluate that patient and go back to what Socrates said and let the body heal itself. You do that through diet, lifestyle, supplements, lots of different ways. And we're not opposed to the pharmaceutical solution, but there's lots of other options that should be considered first. And so that's what we try to educate doctors to be.
In your personal life, have you always had a bent toward natural products versus big pharma?
Not necessarily. I was vaccinated as a kid. My kids were vaccinated. We kind of followed the procedure the doctor said. But I think I've learned a lot in the last 10 years that there might be some better options out there for us.
Got you. You're a journalist. I mean, you're a
Correct.
Publisher and a journalist. You edit, you write, you talk. I know that you also do seminars throughout the country. And hopefully we'll be joining you at one of those. What I'm really fascinated about is that the American public is just gobbling up supplements.
Right.
And that's a Thanksgiving joke. So they're interested, aren't they?
They are. There's David Jones, who is the past president of the Institute for Functional Medicine, says that 90% of patients are what he calls do-me patients. They go to the doctor, what do I need to do to get better? And unfortunately, that often leads to drugs. And they're finding out that there's side effects to those drugs. They saw their parents who are on drugs. Statistics show that the average person over 65 years old is on 5 or more pharmaceutical drugs at any one time. And the reality is the doctor doesn't know if any of them are doing good after they give you 3. So,
whoa,
there's just so much to be learned. And people are asking questions. They're questioning their healthcare practitioner. Should I be on this drug? Are there other options? And the biggest disease that we face in this country is type 2 diabetes. And type 2 diabetes is completely controllable for most people by managing diet and lifestyle.
Right. Dropping weight, eating better,
exercising a little bit.
Oh, that's the hard one, isn't it?
Exactly.
Right. Do you have a gym membership?
I don't, because I walk.
Oh, okay. Got it. I have a gym membership. It's been a while. I have to go back.
I used to have a, Life Track. In our bedroom, it was a
like a Nordic track.
Yeah,
thing?
like a Nordic track machine, and it turned into be just a coat rack. So my wife made me move it out.
Yeah, my son and I bought some kind of thing, And I didn't like it from the beginning, but he did. He worked with it. Then when we wanted to get rid of it, Salvation Army and all those other kinds they wouldn't take it.
No.
They weren't interested. Let's talk about the buzz. What do you think? You've walked around, the show's only been open a couple of hours and 15 minutes or so. There was a rush to get in and look at all the booths, find out the latest. What is the biggest buzz so far?
Well, I think that in the supplement industry in general, and you'll see a lot here, is CBD. People want to know
Everybody's
what it is.
saying that.
Yep. It is just a hot topic, and it's one that's exploding. People think it can do everything. Myself, I view it as the weight loss pills of the 90s because the bubble's going to burst. I think there's a lot of companies out there that are taking advantage of consumers, but there's also some that are putting real research into it. And so I think those are the companies that I like to see here. I've talked to a couple of them today, and that are really, they see the value in it, but they know it takes research.
In that research, will there be a lot of research on CBD for the various things? I mean, pain relief is one of them.
Well, one of the things is that up until December of last year, most research facilities could not do research on CBD because it was illegal. But now with the Farm Bill, they can, so you are seeing research that's happening, and you're going to see more of it. And we'll see, are they real claims that they're making, or is there validity behind them? And I'm guessing there's a lot of them that have validity, but I think the trend that you're going to see is CBD that is partnered with other ingredients that we know have value. So, for instance, an omega-3 that's going to have some CBD added to it, or curcumin will be another one that's got CBD added to it. So the green tea will be another ingredient, because those have got a lot of science behind them on why they work. And the CBD is just going to be a boost.
What other things are people looking at? I'm thinking as America ages, and I've said this already this morning several times, that we want to wake up and know that we're Dick Benson and you can move under your own power, right? You want to recognize your wife, your grandkids, your children, and all that.
Right. I think you're absolutely right. I think brain health is probably the biggest issue that we face for most people, because they're afraid that they're not going to remember yesterday. And it's tragic. And we've seen parents, aunts, uncles who have gone through Alzheimer's and dementia, and we don't want to live like that.
No.
So we want to do what we can. And there's a lot of good products out there that have some good potential. But I think it's early on for them. But it does come back to lifestyle and exercise also impact brain health.
One of the things that I do when I'm late at night, after, you and I work late at night. I know you do. I've called you late. And so if I'm just hanging around, I might watch something like an old Gunsmoke. And what's that got to do with anything? They, even back in the early 50s, they were talking about the crazy guy. He doesn't remember anything. Dragnet, Perry Mason, all these old shows really talked about something that didn't have a name, or at least didn't have the public recognition. They just figured that you grow old, you lose your mind. Do you think that stigma is still with a lot of people?
Yeah, I think people look at it that they think as we get older, we just become forgetful. And I think we look at it from, I can live to be 100, but if I don't remember what I'm doing every day, what's the point? Physically I might be okay, but I think the mental challenge is the big issue for people. We want to live full lives. And I think the baby boomers are going to change all of it. We've changed everything as we've grown older. And I think we're going to change how we get old as well.
It's interesting because I think millennials are also interested in brain health.
You're absolutely right.
They don't want to have that problem.
No.
Right? And it's I think the word is quality of life. It's several words, but the quality of life is what really makes it unique in finding a product or a regimen, something, so that you can live to be 95 or 100. I have a friend, he's 91 years old, he works 40 hours plus a week.
Amazing.
Right? It is amazing. And he said, if I don't, I'm going to die.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, yeah. That's absolutely right. If you go to places where you just see people living in senior housing where they don't do anything, you see a lot of those people living very sad lives.
I was recently visiting somebody in rehab, and while she was pretty active at the time, there are people in the hallways sitting in wheelchairs, and their mouth is just hanging open, and there's just nothing there. Do you address this in some of your publications?
We do. Alzheimer's and dementia are probably third or fourth most popular topics that we address. Very important. And there's almost every issue in our consumer magazines we talk about them.
Tell us about the consumer magazines, what they focus on, each of them.
So they're really about lifestyle. And ideally, we should be able to eat a diet where we get all of our nutrients, and we should be able to live healthy lifestyles. As recent as my grandparents, that's what they did. They didn't have supplements. They didn't have drugs.
Did they have a farm? You're from Minnesota.
Yep, and both my grandparents were farmers. And they raised. My mom was raised on farm animals. Even as kids, my aunt and uncle, we'd have to go out and work on the farm in the summer as little kids, and we got beef and chicken and milk from my aunt.
And they didn't have low-fat milk.
No, it was delicious.
Yeah. It's hard to find today.
It is. But nowadays, people are eating a diet of a lot of packaged foods. And how can they make it healthier for them? It might be quick to eat it, but how nutritious is it? And so we're forced to take supplements for all those shortfalls. We should all be eating fish, but how many of us do? It's not convenient to do. But taking a good omega-3 supplement can help us out. So those are the types of topics we focus on in our consumer magazine. Here's some ideas.
What are the names of the magazines?
We have Natural Solutions, Alternative Medicine, and Delight Gluten-Free. And Delight Gluten-Free is actually modified now because we're talking about the 8 most common allergens that people are allergic to, rather than just gluten. Because gluten-free, people think it's a gluten-free diet is a healthy diet. It's not a healthy diet. A lot of the gluten-free products are packed with sugar. So you have another problem that you've created.
We were looking, the other day I wanted a sandwich and I found gluten-free rolls of some kind. They didn't look good.
No.
Right? And they were 3 times the price.
Yep.
I don't get that. Less ingredients, more money.
Right.
It's like organic food. I don't understand why a carrot that just sits in the ground and you just put water on it, why that would cost more than something that you put fertilizers and bug killers and...
Yeah, that's a problem with our whole food industry, because organic is like the way we should be growing our food, but it costs way more, and the commercial stuff is all the nutrients are leached out of it. We add chemicals to it, and that costs less.
You're a Midwesterner, right?
Yep.
My wife grew up in the Chicago area and said that the best tomatoes she ever tasted were from the Midwest.
Right.
Even beating, farm. We just bought some tomatoes the other day from a farm stand, and they were good. But the best, she said, are still back in the Midwest. Right?
Yep.
Where are the magazines, especially the ones for the consumers? Where do you want to take them? Where are they going to grow to?
As far as
content?
I think continuing to educate, especially the millennials, as you said, because they have more disposable income and they are more interested in living a healthy lifestyle. So we want to focus on that group. How do you raise your kids to, I grew up, as most of us did, on boxed cereal and Campbell soup.
Right.
And what's a little bit healthier version?
Did you have fried bologna sandwiches?
Oh, I love fried bologna sandwiches.
But how many years has it been since you had one?
It's been a long time.
I had bologna sandwiches, but we never fried them. It was kind of interesting.
Fried bologna's the best.
Right. Oh, Mark is here.
The real expert.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And the can you give us some URLs for the publications? Where's
Sure.
the best place for them to look for?
Actually, the easiest place to go is Innonvision, innovision-hm.com, and that's just a landing page that will get you to all of our websites.
Gotcha. And you can take a sneak peek at
Yep, you can go to the consumer, you can go to the professional, you can go to our conferences. You can see everything we do from that page.
You have any conferences coming up?
We just finished our this year, so now we're starting our 2020. We're in the planning stages for that.
Gotcha. Dick, thank you very much. If I can help in any way, let me know. You're welcome to come back to Late Night Health when we're back in the studio and doing some more conversation about keeping America healthy.
Great, we'd love to.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Our guest, again, Dick Benson, the president of Innonvision. Go to innovision-hm.com, innovision-hm.com. And I have been negligent, and I apologize to Mike Anderson back in Los Angeles. I have forgotten to say that Late Night Health is being powered by Podclips. Podclips. It's a brand new podcasting network that will be launching very soon. But they've made this possible, the broadcast possible. So thank you very much, Mike Anderson. I'm Mark Allen. We're going to bring the music up again as this segment of Late Night Health live from Supply Side West in Las Vegas continues. We'll be back shortly with some more people to talk to. We'll see you soon.
So I'll tell you a little fried